third International Exhaust Emission Symposium, entitled Current and Future Trends in Automotive Emissions, Fuels, Lubricants and Test Methods 2012, was held at Bosmal Automotive Research and Development Institute in Bielsko-Biała, Poland, over the 24th and 25th of May 2012. The third symposium was organized due to the resounding success of the previous two events. Additionally, the symposium was planned as part of a series of events commemorating the 40th anniversary of Bosmal's foundation.
Jest to najlepiej wyposażona instytucja badawcza.
Bosmal is the best equipped research institution in Poland when it comes to automotive issues. We can perform practically all the research needed to start production of a vehicle or of individual vehicle components, apart from what is known as crash testing, which we do not currently perform. We are very strong and well developed in the area of engine and emissions testing, and we currently have 20 state-of-the-art engine test benches. That's a lot, given that only a few of the largest, leading, fully independent companies in Europe have more than 20 test benches. Certainly we can say that in many sectors we are equal in standing to equivalent firms in other European countries, and in some cases we even lead the field in terms of our equipment and our research capabilities.
I możliwości lepsze niż firmy europejskie.
I want to congratulate to this 40th anniversary at this occasion. I know Bosmal and the management of this company quite a long time, and I have to say they are extremely competent, very demanding customers, but it's always a pleasure to work with them. Bosmal for us is also important because they are a kind of trendsetters and mindsetters here in Poland as a leading research and development organization, even working on an international basis.
The symposium was officially opened by Bosmal President Dr. Antoni Świątek. After warmly greeting all those in attendance and recognizing that many had traveled great distances in order to attend, he briefly discussed Bosmal's history of engine and emissions testing in light of the constantly changing demands of the industry.
This is the third International Exhaust Emission Symposium we are hosting at Bosmal this year. This symposium it is also part of celebration of 40th anniversary of Bosmal. This year we are hosting about 100 participants from about 40 firms from 14 countries and 3 continents. This symposium, this is a very good opportunity to exchange ideas, to exchange information about development projects that are carried out by our friends from automobile industry, fuel industry and technical universities.
Over the 2 days of the symposium, 22 delegates from 21 organizations delivered presentations to the symposium. A keynote presentation, delivered by Michael Walsh of the ICCT, commenced the first day of the symposium. The other presenters delivered their presentations during 5 thematic sessions, entitled Emissions Legislation and Test Method Development, Powertrain Development, Test Method Development and Hybrids, Catalyst Technology and Emissions Reduction Methods for CI and SI engines, Particle Number and Particle Size Distribution Measurement Development, Fuel and Engine Oil Development. In addition to these invited speakers, many other individuals attended the symposium, with a total of around 100 participants from a total of 14 countries, representing 3 continents.
It's really a very interesting time when looking at global emissions. We now have very advanced technologies entering into the marketplace that can dramatically lower the emissions of what we call the conventional pollutants. And we're starting to make similar progress with greenhouse gas emissions, the CO2 emissions, the N2O emissions, and the methane. So the technologies are becoming available. And the big challenge is to get the state-of-the-art technologies to spread around the world. Secondly, though, we have to be looking beyond what we have today because the challenges are so great because we have such high growth in the vehicle population. We now have over 1 billion cars, trucks, and buses on the world's highways and increasing every year, roughly by 20 to 25 million vehicles.
The real issue is that there's so many issues at the moment that are going on in the current trends. There is the continuing reduction in toxic emissions and photochemical emissions and PM, but at the same time, obviously we have the CO2 and greenhouse gas reductions. All of this is in the background of new powertrains and new sophisticated designs of the vehicle. And but I think if there's one thing that stands out, and that's the move towards real-world emissions, where the emissions and fuel economy of the vehicles as they're actually in use is going to be one of the key elements for the future.
In the past, if we look 40, 50 years back, we now have 2 times more people living on the earth and we have 5 times more vehicles. In the past, we had a great job to reduce emission with emission legislation. However, we will get more cars, more people in the future, which means we have to continue. So we will get also in the future lower limits in this. What will change, in the past we were mainly looking to reduce emissions in the light of the laboratory under known test conditions. In the future, and this is the trend, we will do more testing in real-world driving on the street and in the laboratory using random test cycles.
I think that the measurement of particulate emission is one of the most important measurements for next century. We can consider in particulate emission and you need a good system in order to improve the quality of our life as in improving the quality of air in the town, especially in the downtown. We believe that a good system at the moment is not able to give information in the same time of dimension and quality of the particles. I believe that in the next future we must work hard in order to find the one system for both capabilities.
Experts from the automotive field, fuel and lubricant manufacturers, after-treatment system specialists and academia reported on recent developments and key trends for the near future regarding automotive emissions.
I do believe that we as engine engineers are in a very challenging period of time because definitely in our future there will be more and more electricity. But there are periods, that is this one, in which we have worked strongly in order to optimize the present internal combustion engine that have a lot of potential. So in other words, I think that we have in parallel work in our known diesel, gasoline, CNG engines, improving further the technology of them and to learn the electricity by means of the hybrid vehicle. Because the hybrid vehicle and the hybrid powertrain will be by sure a bridge that will bring us probably in not 10 years but 40 or 50 years time to the real electrical transportation means.
Twin air engine is, as you know, a 2-cylinder engine that we developed in Fiat Powertrain in Pomigliano Technical Center. And I think that is the best compromise between fun to drive and fuel consumption. In design developing it, we followed 2 main drives, the CO2 reduction and the performance. We make, we think, an extremely downsizing of the engine. I'm proud to say that the Twin Air won a lot of awards, included Engine of the Year in 2010.
About engine development, for sure, as we understood also today, we have to work hard on emission level and so on, and we have probably finally understood that we must more focus on real city driving more than specific cycles which are not so representative.
We produce an engine for different applications, and the difficulty in this moment is to meet Tier 4 final. And the target for Lombardini today is to meet Tier 4 final up to 55 kilowatts without any after treatment except DOC. So this was a very big effort for Lombardini in using a very advanced technology, take from the car and take from the heavy duty application, because the target is very tough.
With the current demands in automotive industry on emissions and the drivability demand for calibration in the industry is really the biggest trend that we see. It's increasing dramatically. and therefore it needs methodologies and tools and processes to overcome these problems. This is mainly standardization of the process, implementing pre-knowledge, and of course automation of the process to make it as efficient as possible and to reach the targets demanded by legislation and customers.
Hybrid system, I think it's a good temporary solution and a movement to pure electric cars or fuel cell cars. I personally believe that in the next years we will see more and more modular systems of hybridization, so they will be inbuilt as standard in certain cars where it's useful to have hybrid components, city usage, lightweight trucks, and we will see electrification of additional systems like fuel pump, oil pumps, water pumps, air conditioning compressors, etc. We will see this and we will benefit, and the costs will be lower than today.
The development of this system is today complex because it's a system optimization, and in order to verify the potential of the technology of after treatment, we need this sort of cooperation that give us result in a short time and with reliable results. So this cooperation with Bosmal is going on from a long time now, and we are achieving improvement, and we are able now to reach emission limits of NOx that at the beginning of the cooperation we are not able to reach. So this is really important for us.
Nitrogen oxide emissions are harmful for the emission, environmental and health. They have also harmful health effects, and for this we need some technology, and SCR technology is the most feasible with urea dosing, and that's the most efficient way to control diesel NOx emissions. And not only for the NOx, that's the technology also we consider that minimize any other diesel emissions regarding nitrogen, like ammonia slip can be controlled with proper urea dosing and proper SCR technology in general. And laughing gas and NO2 formations can be minimized as well. In future, the major challenge will be the higher temperatures together with DPF regenerations, and for that further development has been needed for SCR chemistries to maintain temperatures much higher than they have conventionally been able to maintain.
Fuel development is considering fuel as a key engineering element or it should be a sustainable and affordable engineering element in the onward development of more energy effective and also environmental friendly vehicles. And one very important factor of or part of the fuel is that it should be able to keep the vital parts of the engine clean, because we know that deposits on important parts of the engine will increase fuel consumption and also make the emissions worse.
Poland is a very huge refinery supplying fuels for European market and for Poland, and of course fuel quality and requirements according to market expectation is one of our priorities. From this point of view, we arrange within our organization a lot of physical-chemical tests to confirm quality of fuels, and as a part of this activity we cooperate with Bosmal, which has also very good equipped lab and give us opportunity to test using engine and road test our products.
Fuel and engine oil development is an exciting challenge today. While alternative and sustainable fuel could be a possible and viable solution for the future, new technologies in engine oil development can really improve and reduce the mechanical friction in the engine, with improvements both in fuel economy and CO2 reduction. Petronas is working on new technology to contribute in compatibility between the fuels, biofuels and lubricants.
The main drivers of the development of engine oils are currently after treatment compatibility, fuel economy, and in addition oil robustness to guarantee high duration of the engine oil, but also compatibility with biofuel. and particularly efforts have to be made in order to guarantee a high level of fuel economy, because fuel economy is the main issue for the future. So our company, for instance, has to guarantee a lot of efforts in the development of new additives in order to enhance the anti-friction properties of engine oils. This action, the reduction of viscosity, could provide some new issue in terms of anti-wear properties. New additives have also the role of improve anti-wear properties in addition to anti-friction properties.
We work on polyalkylene glycol-based engine oils. They are chemically completely different from hydrocarbon-based engine oils, and they offer high fuel economy and no adverse effects on exhaust emission systems because they are ash-free. They can be biodegradable and non-toxic, also made from renewable resources, and also they are the best solution for the future SAE 5W5 low viscosity spec, because the polyglycols have very high viscosity index without polymers and have low volatilities and low viscosity. So from my feeling, they are the only chemical solutions for the future 5W5 engine oil spec.
For the university, it's very important to talk with the industry, to know the problems and the main problems that have in the moment. So when we arrive to the university, we can teach and talk about these subjects, these main problems that industry has. So with this, we can teach the fundamental things and then talk again also about the applied problems, the problems of the industry. So when these engineers, future engineers, arrive to the companies, know the real problems that industries have. Also, the research in the university is important because you can apply with some companies, because you can collaborate, and we have students that can help to develop these or solve these problems to the industry.
Feedback from attendees was very positive, echoing the successes of the previous two events. Once again, the presentations delivered were varied, engaging, and of a very high standard. A number of attendees represented organizations and bodies regarded as key players in the industry, testifying to the high level of the event. The third International Exhaust Emission Symposium built upon the successes of the previous two events to produce an event with a solid technical and scientific focus, but also with a thoroughly human character. This symposium is a great success for Bosmal Automotive Research and Development Institute, as they have gathered together the greatest authorities from Poland, Europe, and even across the globe. This testifies to Bosmal's position and status in the automotive world. Professor Merkish concluded the symposium with an oral summary. Internal combustion engines have been, are, and will be the main solution for road transport for the foreseeable future. However, the internal combustion engine concept has certain key existential challenges to overcome. Powertrain development is moving in the direction of reduced levels of emissions of harmful compounds and CO2 emissions. Various tools described during the symposium are available to meet these goals. Refinement, improvement and implementation of these devices and techniques for emissions reduction and fuel economy is the current task facing engineers working in the automotive industry.
We have chosen this place as a good place for our symposium dinner and celebration of 40th anniversary of Bosmal. So on behalf of Bosmal President, on behalf of organizing committee, welcome to Symposium dinner.